Nalyssa Smith was once a standout player for the Indiana Fever, but now she's been let go and her surprising actions are causing quite a stir. What's going on with the Fever star, and was it really her clash with Caitlin Clark that led to Indiana letting her go? Nalyssa Smith's path to the pros wasn't an easy one. Growing up in San Antonio, Texas, she was always a standout player, but behind that fierce game, there was a lot of personal struggle. Raised in a tough neighborhood, Smith faced hardships from a young age. Her father was tough on her, constantly pushing her beyond her limits, while the family dealt with financial challenges. Those early struggles shaped her into a determined competitor, but also led to the fiery, sometimes confrontational personality she's known for. In high school, Smith's performance on the court was impressive, but her aggressive nature started to show. She often clashed with coaches who criticized her and even with teammates who couldn't match her intensity. Every setback seemed to make her more defensive and harder to approach. When she got to Baylor for college, that raw talent finally shone through. She dominated the game, leading her team to win after win, and solidified her reputation as one of the top players in the country. As Nalyssa's skills grew, so did her ego. The same drive that made her a powerhouse on the court also made her hard to get along with. Teammates often described her as distant and cold, especially when things didn't go her way. Don't get me wrong, Nalyssa was an absolute force on the floor, nearly unstoppable as she piled up awards and honors. But with those achievements came a growing list of enemies. The chip on her shoulder got bigger, and so did her attitude problems. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our cool content. Now, let's address the big issue. Nalyssa, you've always been a dominant player, but your attitude has really held you back. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, your jealousy and bitterness towards Caitlin Clark. Instead of focusing on your own performance, it seems like you've made it your mission to fit in with the group in the WNBA that's threatened by Caitlin Clark's rise. Whether it's her skills, her success, or the fact that she's breaking records you never did, it's obvious there's a problem here. Is this a personal vendetta, or are you just trying to align yourself with others who feel intimidated by her talent? Time and time again, you've shown that you're more interested in tearing others down than improving your own game. You can be quick to point out issues, sometimes using sharp comments or aggressive play, especially towards Caitlin. It seems like you're trying to prove your place among the top players, but this approach might not be the best way to do that. Instead of focusing on leadership, it often comes across as unnecessary rivalry. Your remarks and on-court behavior toward Caitlin might seem like you're feeling pressured by the attention she's been getting. Additionally, your attitude during games has been a concern. You've had difficulty accepting feedback, and it's clear that sometimes you're not fully open to learning and adapting. When your team needs you, it can feel like you're caught up in other distractions instead of focusing on improving. It's no surprise the Fever made the decision they did. At times, it's felt like your energy has been more focused on competing with others, rather than growing in your own game and career. The truth is, Nalyssa, you have incredible potential, but your focus on undermining Caitlin instead of working on your own game is holding you back. Fans see it, the league sees it, and it's not a good look. It's time to grow up, let go of the jealousy, and remember why you started playing in the first place. For the love of the game, not to be part of the group that struggles to handle competition. Here comes the rookie star who took the WNBA by storm, Caitlin Clark, and it seemed like you just couldn't stand it. Could you, Nalyssa? The spotlight was slipping away from you, and Caitlin's rise only made it worse. Every time she stepped on the court, it felt like a challenge to you. The tension between you two was obvious. Fans noticed the cold stares you'd give her or how you refused to help her up after a mistake. It was like you couldn't handle her success, as if Caitlin's rise was somehow a threat to your reputation. But here's the truth. Nalyssa, Caitlin isn't the problem. It's your own insecurities and ego. You've got the talent, but it's your attitude that's holding you back. Ironically, it seems like you know how to handle things better in your personal life than on the court. Now, let's talk about Dion Carrington. You two were close, maybe too close. It's no secret in WNBA circles that your relationship wasn't exactly healthy. Carrington often played the role of your enabler, always backing up your bad behavior, pumping you up when what you really needed was someone to help ground you. This friendship may have felt supportive, but it ended up being more harmful than helpful. Instead of lifting each other up in a positive way, it seemed like the partnership just fueled the wrong kind of energy. You and Dion seemed to feed off each other's worst traits, almost like an echo chamber of negativity. Instead of pushing each other to be better players and friends, it often feels like you both get caught up in drama and conflict, whether it's on social media or during games. You're quick to have each other's backs when it comes to stirring up trouble, especially when it involves going after other players like Caitlin Clark. What could have been a supportive friendship has turned into a two-person wrecking crew, with you and Dion often teaming up to bring others down rather than build each other up. Dion's outspoken, aggressive nature matches perfectly with your own tendency to stir up conflict, and together, it's created more tension than growth. Instead of being a powerful duo on the court, you and Dion have become known for your shared pettiness. You feed off each other's negativity, making snide remarks and taking cheap shots at rivals, which only adds fuel to the fire and pushes you further away from the rest of the league. Your friendship has turned into a constant cycle of drama. Every time there's a controversy, you're both right in the middle of it. It's clear you found comfort in someone who shares your aversion to responsibility, but in the long run, it's holding you back. Instead of focusing on improving your game, you've gotten caught up in a negative spiral, trying to fit in with a clique that's more interested in bringing down rising stars like Caitlin Clark than in lifting each other up. Instead of lifting each other up, your friendship has become about validating each other's worst impulses. It's the kind of relationship that drags you both down, making you seem more like high school bullies than professional athletes, and it's hurting your careers. Fans see it, your coaches see it, and even your teammates see it. Instead of being recognized as leaders, you've become infamous for all the wrong reasons. You've been feeding off each other's energy, but not in a healthy way. Whenever you faced criticism, Dion was right there, stoking the fire and telling you that everyone else was the problem. But this friendship has only fed your delusions and made things worse. It's clear that some of your most challenging moments occurred when Dion was around, encouraging your behavior. Take the argument during the game against the Sparks, for example. Dion was right there supporting you, even when things weren't going your way. While it may have seemed like loyalty, in reality, it may have reinforced a sense of detachment from the situation. Now here we are, the Indiana Fever have made the difficult decision to part ways. You were once seen as the future of the franchise, but it seems that, at times, your actions have become a liability. Fans have different opinions. Some feel the team didn't fully manage your potential, while others believe this is the result of ongoing behavior challenges. Nalyssa Smith's departure from the Fever has been building for a while, with concerns about her attitude gradually coming to a head. Thank you. Subscribe the channel.